Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Drew and once again watching the Theme Park Dude. Today's video I share brand new rumors based on Horror Night Nightmare's speculation map for Halloween Horror Nights 2024 at Universal Orlando Resort. Before I begin, it would mean a lot if you could hit that subscribe button as well as the like button to support the channel. Now, off to the video. Every year leading up to the famous Halloween event Halloween Horror Nights, Horror Night Nightmares create speculation maps that allow fans to get excited and predict what haunted houses we may see at the Orlando and Hollywood event. Recently, they released version 1 of the 2024 speculation map for both Universal Orlando and Hollywood. Remember, these are all rumors, and at the time of recording, none of these have been confirmed by Universal, and this video will be just focusing on Universal Orlando Resort as well. Let's start with the rumored haunted house closest to the entrance of the park. First up, located inside Soundstage 23A, we have what appears to be a Latin America original house. Now, this house is not based upon any film or TV show, but a new story by Universal Horror Nights creative team. We did get a Latin America house in 2022 with Fiesta de Chupacabras, and it was a fun, fan favorite house with giant sets and fun scares. Now, maybe this could be a sequel to that house and continue the story of the cultists trying to sacrifice guests to Chupacabras, but I don't think so. This house appears to be something new based on Latin American culture. Potentially, it could be based on different native tribes or something similar to the Monsters of Latin America house from Hollywood last year, with different Latin American monsters such as La Llorona. And that was a fan favorite house over there. I believe it even won House of the Year in Hollywood, so I would love to see some version of that come over here to Universal Orlando. Moving on to Soundstage 22, with the entrance being the Music Plaza near Rip Ride Rocket, we have the next installment in Universal Monster Houses, Dracula. Now, this house has been rumored for quite a while, and it would continue the fan-favorite houses like Universal Monsters Unmasked, Universal Legends Collide, Bride of Frankenstein Lives, and Universal Monsters from the last 4 years, and this would be the 5th one in this series. Now, especially with the Epic Universe opening next year and Dracula being confirmed to play a major role in the Dark Ride over there, I would love to see a Dracula-centered haunted house, because it's been a while since we had one. I believe we had one a few years ago based on Dracula Untold, which was the movie, which was not great from what I've heard. So, seeing an original Dracula house based on some original story, connecting maybe some other Universal monsters in there, would be great, and definitely one that I'm very much looking forward to. Bringing back a fan-favorite house from 2019, but this time with the sequel, we have Ghostbusters 1 and 2 located in Soundstage 23B, with the entrance being outside of the Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon attraction. Now, we did get Ghostbusters in 2019 about the Orlando and Hollywood and was based strictly off of the original movie. Now, the rumor as of right now is this Ghostbusters house would be based on the classic and the second one that came out a couple years later, both from the 80s, so it's none of like the new ones with Frozen Empire, which is about to release at the time of recording this, and Afterlife from a few years ago, or the all-female cast that came out a few years before that. None of those are going to be in this. It's just going to be the 2 original Ghostbuster films. Now, there was a rumor a little bit ago that was going to be Afterlife and Frozen Empire, which are the 2 newer ones. Now, personally, I'd be okay with really whatever. I just love Ghostbusters, so just to see Ghostbusters back at the event would be great. I do, would prefer to see something new, though, so if they could do the newer movies or have a heavy focus on scenes they missed from the original and then do a big part of the second movie, I would be okay with that as well. So, I love the house. Ghostbusters was the first ever Horror Nights house I did in 2019, so always have a special place for me with Horror Nights, and yeah, just definitely one of the most anticipated. Love Ghostbusters and cannot wait to see it back at the event if it comes. Fourth on the list is another original house in Soundstage 24A that appears to be Tribute to Terror, which is this noir legendary truth house, and the skeleton icon matches the cover of the Tribute to Terror magazine that released during Horror Nights last year. This is going to be a very interesting house if it comes, because Boris Schuster and Legendary Truth play a big role in these original actual comics that were released. I did not purchase any, but I saw some videos on them, so I kind of know what they're about. So if this came to the event, I think it'd be pretty cool. Definitely a neat original, kind of like Dueling Dragons, where it like had pre-existence at Universal Orlando before, so it would be cool for some park fans. And yeah, big fan of this coming to the event, and I think it'd be a really scary original and would be a lot of fun. So here is another original located in Soundstage 24B. It would be based on Sweet Revenge, which was a scare zone a couple years ago at Universal Orlando, and had a big character, Major Sweets, which was a really neat storyline. It connected, a lot to the plot of the event that year, and it was pretty cool. It was this giant festival, and the mayor poisoned or put stuff in the candy that turned everybody into psychos that ate the candy. So this zone was really fun. They had like these giant parade floats. They had a lot of cool actors walking around with neat props, and just overall, it was a really neat zone. So I would love to see this get the zone to house treatment, kind of like Killer Clowns from Outer Space did, and a few others in the past. I would love to see that happen with this particular house. Now, there is a rumor that Mayor Sweets could potentially be the icon next year of the event, because in the past we had Oddfellow and the Pumpkin Lord, which were both characters that are previously featured at Horror Nights in some other way or form. So I'd love to keep that trend going and now have Mayor Sweets be the icon, and I think there's a lot of cool stuff they could do with that, and I just think it'll be a very neat original house. Now we have a short one here, just an unknown IP. There's a couple of these unknowns on this map, and yeah, really, your guess is as good as mine. One possible idea I've been seeing online could be a Plum House Chapter 4, since Plum House has teased being featured at the event in some way or form, but yeah, who really knows with this one. Moving on to an IP house that I personally would be very excited to see, A Quiet Place. Now, A Quiet Place has never been featured at the event despite the movie being a few years old now, but there is a new one coming out called A Quiet Place Day 1, and there has been a second one with a third part of the main franchise coming sometime in the next couple years. So, it's a very popular film series, so I think it'd be cool. I just don't know how they would translate the monsters well. They could maybe do like some cool puppets, but the whole premise of the movie is being quiet, so maybe the house is going to be like super silent. I don't know with this one. I did see this on HHN Legacy, so who knows? They are a very reliable source, but maybe they saw something else, because what other people were maybe pointing out is that icon that was on this map here is just, audio canceled out. So Silent Hill, which also has been rumored as a potential house, but I didn't include it here on this list because I thought this one, had more of a chance of going, but maybe Silent Hill, big video game series. I know they're getting a remake or a new game in the series sometime soon. Or Terrifier, which has been heavily speculated by fans, at least, that they want that at the event, at least over in Hollywood. Now, maybe in Orlando, who knows? I'm not personally a big Terrifier fan. I've never even seen the movies. They're just not for me, personally. But, I probably would only do it once or twice if it came kind of like Exorcist, just because it's just not my cup of tea. But A Quiet Place, I actually really do enjoy the movies, and I think they're not super scary, so maybe this could be one of the tamer houses at the event if they wanted to make Ghostbusters maybe a little bit more scary. Who knows? I just don't know how they would translate this to a house, because it'd be very rough making, the quiet scares and then creating the monsters and having the human aspect. I just don't know how it would work, but I'm very interested to see how Universal could bring this to life at their event. In one of the Sprung-Towns, we have another unknown original, which I've heard practically nothing for. In Sprung-Town 1, we have what appears to be a Greek mythology house. So a lot of potential with this one, especially if they do like the monsters route, because imagine Percy Jackson, but just horror. I feel like that'd be really cool, with especially with the Centaur and the icon there. Now, there is 4 Sprung Tents this year and no parade buildings, which is something really interesting at Horror Nights. And this is like the first time they've done this many tent houses. If you count Fast and Furious, 5 of the 10 houses will be based in Sprung Tents or a tent. So, because the parade buildings, I guess, are going to actually be used for parades this time. So, going to be kind of disappointing. I'm okay with 10 houses, but they have a lot of limitations, so it will be interesting to see how they bring huge sets in there, which they've done it, like with Wicked Growth and Oddfellow, but excited just to see how they bring this Greek mythology house to the event. The final house is a property that fans have been wanting to come back to the event ever since Freddy vs. Jason in 2015, and that is Nightmare on Elm Street. This will be a huge IP for the event, and probably this year's slasher house, like how we've had Halloween, Chucky, Leatherface all in the past. Now it's going to be Freddy Krueger. It's been a while since we've had a distinct Freddy Krueger house as well, so I'm actually looking forward to this. But kind of similar to Terrifier, I'm not a huge fan of these movies. I haven't really seen them, so I'm probably going to have to do some research before I go see this haunted house. But I do know fans have been begging Universal to bring this property back to the event. So yeah, definitely expect this house to be one of the most popular if it comes to Halloween Horror Nights next year. Overall, Halloween Horror Nights seems to be a great event, and I cannot wait for next year. Now, there is 2 shows. It appears that Fear Factor Live stage will be reused again for Nightmare Fuel, and a new show coming to Animal Actors that is some property, with some rumors being the return of Beetlejuice Graveyard Review, or potentially Bill and Ted. Some comedy show appears to be there, but it will be based on some movie property. So yeah, I'd love to see Beetlejuice Graveyard Review come back. Now, thanks again for watching, everyone, and if you enjoyed, please leave me a massive like and subscribe to the channel if you are new with notifications on to miss a brand new video. Comment down below what houses you think could be coming to the event next year. And once again, thank you to Horror Night Nightmares for creating another great speculation map, and I cannot wait to continue covering the event. So make sure you are subscribed, because I will be covering this event as stuff gets announced, as more speculation rumors come out. So yeah, thanks again, everyone. See ya. Bye.